Stop. Before you do anything else, I want you to picture your body as a biological fortress. For years, its walls have been silently corroded from the inside out by an invisible fire. You feel the effects as daily aches and creeping fatigue. But what if I told you that you hold the power to not only stop the damage, but to rebuild those walls, stone by stone? You feel it, don't you? The frustrating brain fog, the stiffness in your joints, the sense that your body is slowly turning against you. You've been told it's just a normal part of getting older, a conversation your doctor doesn't have time to finish. But the exhaustion and the quiet worry you carry are real. The true cause, however, is different from what you've been taught to believe. After spending 2 decades reviewing thousands of studies on cellular aging, I can tell you the science is clear. The decline you feel is not inevitable. It's driven by a process we can control. My mission in the next few minutes is to give you the 5 specific habits that the latest research shows can extinguish this silent fire and reverse its effects. The most powerful of these is number 1, and it's already sitting in your spice cabinet right now. But without one specific partner, your body absorbs almost none of its anti-inflammatory power, rendering it almost completely useless. You have the weapon, but you're using it with the safety on. We're going to change that today. This isn't another list of generic health tips. This is a protocol, a complete, accessible, and immediately applicable system based on hard science. By the end of this video, you will have a clear plan to fight back against the inflammation that is accelerating your aging. The science is clear on this, and it works regardless of your starting point. So before we begin with number 5, I want you to do one thing. Go to the comments and simply write down your age. I want you to see the community of people starting this journey with you, right here, right now. It will show you exactly how this science applies to where you are today. Let's begin. The first food, number 5, is what I call the cellular coolant. This is simply fatty fish, like wild salmon, mackerel, and sardines. And the best part is, this doesn't require a big budget or a trip to a specialty store. High-quality canned versions are just as powerful. Think of the omega-3 fatty acids in these fish as the coolant for your car's engine. Without it, the daily friction of living causes your cells to overheat with inflammation, leading to system-wide wear and tear. The biological reason this works is fascinating. Your body takes the omega-3s, specifically EPA and DHA, and uses them as raw materials to build its own highly specialized anti-inflammatory molecules called resolvin. According to research highlighted by the National Institutes of Health, these molecules don't just suppress inflammation, they actively resolve it. They are like a specialized cleanup crew that arrives after a fire, repairing the damage and signaling that the crisis is over. This process of actively resolving inflammation has profound effects you can actually feel. When your cellular engine is running cooler, your joints can feel less stiff, and your thinking can become noticeably clearer. Research from institutions like Stanford University continues to uncover how resolving inflammation is a key factor in protecting brain health over the long term. Pushing back against the frustrating brain fog many people assume is just a part of aging. You are giving your body the exact resources it needs to shut down the inflammatory alarms that are constantly ringing. This isn't a temporary fix. It's a fundamental shift in your internal environment, moving from a state of chronic crisis to one of calm and repair. Every serving of these fish helps to systematically dial down the background noise of inflammation, allowing your body's natural healing processes to finally take over. The most common pushback I hear is either a dislike for fish or a concern about cost. This is where sardines and canned wild salmon become your secret weapon. They are affordable, have a long shelf life, and are incredibly potent sources of these omega-3s. We're not asking for a radical, difficult change. The science shows that just 2 servings a week, each about the size of the palm of your hand, is enough to start seeing a real difference. Implementing this is simple. You can add flaked salmon to a large salad for lunch, grill a fillet with lemon and herbs for dinner, or even have sardines on whole grain toast for a quick and powerful breakfast. The goal is to make it a consistent, non-negotiable part of your weekly rhythm. Choose the method that fits your life and commit to it. For an extra layer of power, here is a synergy tip. Always try to eat your fatty fish with a large serving of dark leafy greens, like spinach or kale. The magnesium found in abundance in these greens is a crucial cofactor, a helper molecule, that your body's enzymes need to efficiently convert the omega-3s into their final, active, inflammation-resolving forms. The fish provides the fuel, and the greens help turn the key in the ignition. Ignoring this is like letting the engine in your body run in the red day after day. Eventually, the system doesn't just get worn down, it breaks down, often in the form of a sudden cardiac event or an accelerated cognitive decline. But while cooling the system is crucial, you also need to stop what's causing the irritation in the first place. That's where our number 4 food comes in, which functions like a natural painkiller. That natural painkiller is number 4, the liquid ibuprofen. I'm talking about true, high-quality, extra virgin olive oil. This is a topic most physicians simply don't have time to cover in a standard appointment, but the science behind it is undeniable. The bitter, peppery sensation you feel at the back of your throat from a good olive oil is not a defect. It is the signature of its healing power. It's a sign that you are consuming one of nature's most effective anti-inflammatories. The magic comes from a specific phenolic compound called oleocanthal. Groundbreaking research from the Monell Chemical Senses Center discovered that oleocanthal works by inhibiting the same inflammatory pathways, the COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes, as ibuprofen. In essence, every spoonful of high-quality, oleocanthal-rich olive oil is like taking a small natural dose of a pain reliever that works to quiet the inflammation throughout your body, from your arteries to your aching joints. Unlike the medication it mimics, oleocanthal provides this benefit without the well-documented gastrointestinal side effects that can come from long-term NSAID use. It doesn't just mask the pain, it targets the inflammatory process at its source in a way that is safe and sustainable for daily use. This is about moving away from reactive pain management and towards a proactive strategy of keeping inflammation at bay every single day. However, not all olive oil is created equal. The benefits are found almost exclusively in real, extra virgin olive oil. The refining process used to make cheaper, light olive oils uses high heat, which completely destroys the delicate oleocanthal compound. If your olive oil doesn't have that distinct peppery finish, it has likely lost its anti-inflammatory properties, making it little more than empty calories. The quality is non-negotiable. To preserve this powerful compound, you must change how you use it. Instead of cooking with it at high temperatures, which degrades the oleocanthal, use it as a finishing oil. Drizzle it generously over your salads, your vegetables, your soups, and even your fish after they have been cooked. This simple habit ensures that you are getting the full, unadulterated dose of this natural medicine, exactly as nature intended. The alternative is devastating. Using cheap, refined vegetable oils like soy, corn, or canola oil is like throwing gasoline on the fire. These oils are overloaded with pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids, which actively work against your efforts to cool your system. Every time you choose one of those oils over real extra virgin olive oil, you are directly fueling the very inflammation you are trying to extinguish. I think of my patient John, a 68-year-old retired firefighter from Chicago, who assumed his chronic knee pain was just the price he'd paid for a life of service. After just 3 months of diligently replacing all his vegetable oils with real extra virgin olive oil and increasing his fatty fish intake, he called me. For the first time in a decade, he had walked up the stairs in his home without wincing in pain. The synergy here is powerful. Drizzle this liquid ibuprofen over your cellular coolant and your magnesium-rich greens. You are now combining multiple distinct anti-inflammatory pathways into one delicious meal. So now we have a coolant and a painkiller. But what about protecting the most critical pipes in your body, your arteries? The food at number 3 acts like a shield. That shield is number 3 on our list, the artery shield. We are talking about blueberries. Their power lies in their deep, rich color, a direct indicator of their ability to protect the most vital infrastructure in your body. This is where we move from simply managing inflammation to building a resilient, long-term defense against the chronic diseases that silently take root over decades. This is where hope truly begins to build. The deep blue and purple hues of blueberries come from powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins. Think of these compounds as a biological Teflon coating for the inside of your arteries. They create a smooth, non-stick surface that prevents harmful LDL cholesterol from oxidizing and clinging to your artery walls, which is the very first step in the formation of dangerous plaque. You are essentially making your entire vascular system hostile to the beginnings of heart disease. The effect is so significant that it can be measured. Studies, like those published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, have shown that regular consumption of anthocyanin-rich foods like blueberries can lead to a measurable reduction in C-reactive protein, or CRP. This is a key inflammatory marker your doctor uses to assess your overall risk for a future cardiovascular event. Lowering it is a clear sign that you are extinguishing the fire inside. This brings us to a critical choice every single day. Are you fueling the engine of inflammation or the engine of longevity? The standard modern diet, full of refined oils and sugar, is like putting dirty, low-octane fuel into a high-performance engine. It causes sputtering, corrosion, and eventual breakdown. It runs hot with inflammation, wearing down every component from your joints to your brain. But adding foods like blueberries is like switching to a clean, premium, high-efficiency fuel. The anthocyanins and polyphenols don't just provide energy. They actively clean and protect the engine's components. Your arteries remain flexible, your circulation becomes more efficient, and the entire system runs cooler and smoother. You're not just preventing rust, you're tuning the engine for peak performance and durability year after year. This is what directly fights back against the fear of losing your independence. The fear of one day not being able to climb the stairs, play with your grandchildren, or simply trust your own body is rooted in this slow, inflammatory decline. By actively protecting your arteries and cooling your system, you are taking direct control of that future. This isn't just about adding years to your life, but adding life back into your years. And it is remarkably simple to do. A handful of blueberries, fresh or frozen, is all it takes. The flash freezing process preserves the anthocyanins, so a bag of frozen blueberries is an affordable and powerful tool you can keep on hand year-round. Add them to your oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or simply eat them by the handful. For an added synergy, combine them with plain yogurt or kefir. The probiotics in these foods help create a healthier gut environment, which enhances your body's ability to absorb and utilize these artery-shielding compounds. We're halfway through, and you're already seeing how these foods build on one another to create a powerful, synergistic defense. If this information is proving valuable to you, please take 1 second to hit the like button. It's a small click for you, but it tells our team that this is the kind of deep, actionable science you want more of. And stick with me, because the next 2 items on this list are the most powerful and, frankly, the most controversial. Shielding your arteries is a defensive move. But what if we could go on the offense and actively switch off the pain signals? The route at number 2 does exactly that. That offensive move begins with number 2 on our list, the pain switch. I'm talking about ginger. And with it, we must confront one of the most disempowering beliefs of our time, that the chronic aches in your knees, your back, and your hands are a non-negotiable life sentence of aging. That is a lie. The science shows that this pain is a signal, and ginger provides a way to turn down its volume. Think of inflammation screaming for attention in your joints. Ginger doesn't ignore the scream. It convinces the source to speak in a whisper. The reason this isn't just wishful thinking lies in its active compounds, called gingerols. These potent molecules have been extensively studied and are shown to be powerful inhibitors of the COX-2 enzyme, which is a key generator of inflammatory pain. This is the very same enzyme targeted by many powerful arthritis medications. You've been led to believe that your only option is a pharmaceutical one, but your body can respond just as effectively to a natural compound that has been used for millennia for this exact purpose. Relying solely on painkillers to manage chronic aches is like snipping the wire to the oil warning light on your car's dashboard. You've silenced the annoying signal, but you've done nothing to address the engine that is still overheating and grinding itself into ruin. You are masking the problem while the damage continues unabated. Ginger, on the other other hand, begins to cool the engine. It addresses the inflammatory process itself, offering not just relief, but a chance at true, sustainable healing. This is a fundamental shift in how you approach pain. Instead of simply blocking the pain signal after it's been sent, the gingerols in ginger work to reduce the production of the very inflammatory messengers that create the signal in the first place. You're not just muffling the alarm, you're preventing the fire from sending up so much smoke. This mechanism, validated by countless studies, is why consistent ginger consumption can lead to a noticeable decrease in daily pain levels and an increase in mobility. The most practical way to incorporate this is through a simple daily tea made from fresh ginger root, or by grating it into your meals. You don't need a huge amount. Consistency is what creates the profound, cumulative effect. For an added boost, use this synergy tip. When you make your fresh ginger tea, squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. The vitamin C from the lemon is a powerful antioxidant that acts as a bodyguard for the gingerols, protecting them from degradation and ensuring more of their power is delivered directly to your cells. I will never forget my patient Margaret, who at 75 came to me terrified she was losing her mind. Her mother had suffered from dementia, and Margaret's own senior moments were becoming more frequent and frightening. We focused intensely on a protocol that included both number 2 and our upcoming number 1. 6 months later, she came back to my office with a new light in her eyes. Not only was she remembering her grocery lists without fail, but she had rejoined the book club she had quit years ago. She told me, with tears welling up, that she felt clearer than she had at 65. Margaret's story reveals a crucial truth. The fire that burns in your joints is the same fire that fogs your brain. This process, called neuroinflammation, is now understood by researchers at institutions like Harvard Medical School to be a primary driver of cognitive decline. By using ginger to turn down the dial on systemic inflammation, you are not only addressing physical pain, but also protecting your brain, clearing the fog, and fighting for your mental clarity. This is incredibly powerful for managing symptoms. But the number 1 food on our list doesn't just manage the fire. It has the potential to put it out at the source, but only if you know the secret to activating it. At the very beginning of this video, I told you that the number 1 food to extinguish silent inflammation was already in your kitchen. I promised you that this single item held the potential to address the root cause of the fire inside you, but only if you knew the secret to unlocking its power. For most people, that power remains dormant, wasted. That changes for you today. The number 1 on our list, the key that completes the entire protocol, is the golden activator. This is not one food, but a sacred partnership. Turmeric, combined with a pinch of simple black pepper. The golden spice in your cabinet is the source of the power, but the common pepper sitting next to it is the key that unlocks the door. This is the secret that transforms a simple spice into one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents on the planet. Turmeric contains an incredibly potent compound called curcumin. With over 8,000 peer-reviewed studies from institutions across the globe investigating its effects, curcumin is perhaps the most studied natural anti-inflammatory in existence. It has been shown to neutralize the master inflammatory switch in the body, a molecule called NF-kappa B. In theory, it should be the ultimate firefighter for the blaze inside you. But there is a fatal flaw. The problem is that your body, specifically your liver, is incredibly efficient at getting rid of curcumin, often metabolizing and excreting it before it can do any good. Its bioavailability is shockingly low. Using turmeric on its own is like dispatching the world's most elite firefighter to a burning building, but leaving him locked outside on the street. He has all the tools and training, but he can't get inside to do his job. This is where the magic happens. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine. It is not just a flavor enhancer, it is a biochemical key. The piperine acts as the master key that unlocks the doors of the burning building. It doesn't fight the fire itself, but it allows the elite firefighter, curcumin, to rush inside and access every room, every floor, and get to the very source of the flames. This isn't just a small boost. A landmark landmark study published in the journal Planta Medica found that when consumed with piperine, the bioavailability of curcumin is increased by up to 2,000%. Let me repeat that, 2,000%. This means that adding just a tiny pinch of black pepper to your turmeric doesn't just help a little, it multiplies its power exponentially. Using turmeric without black pepper is quite literally throwing away more than 99% of its potential. The exact mechanism is elegant. Your liver has specific enzymes that tag curcumin for removal, a process called glucuronidation. Think of these enzymes as security guards, programmed to escort curcumin out of the building. The piperine from black pepper temporarily inhibits these enzymes. It essentially distracts the guards, allowing the curcumin to bypass security, enter the bloodstream freely, and travel throughout your entire body to do its work. Now let's assemble the full protocol. This is your master plan. Create a meal built around a fillet of salmon, the cellular coolant. Season generously with turmeric and black pepper, the golden activator. Serve it on a bed of spinach or kale, and then drizzle the entire plate with high-quality extra virgin olive oil, the liquid ibuprofen. For dessert, have a bowl of fresh blueberries, the artery shield. This isn't just food. It's a symphony of compounds working together to extinguish inflammation from every possible angle. These 5 foods are not just disconnected items on a grocery list. They are a set of tools. They are the keys you now hold to dismantle the inflammatory process, piece by piece, and to rebuild your biological fortress from the inside out, empowering you to take back control of your own health. You have now been given the tools. You learned how to unlock the firefighting power of the golden activator, how to quiet the signals with the pain switch, and how to protect your lifelines with the artery shield. You discovered how to soothe your system with the liquid ibuprofen, and finally, how to cool the very core of your cellular engine with the cellular coolant. This is no longer a list, it is your personal arsenal. These signals your body has been sending, the aches, the fog, the fatigue, were never signs of failure, they were cries for help. Your body is not your enemy. It has always been fighting for you. We just gave it the wrong tools. Today you learned to give it the right ones, the very materials it has been asking for to begin the work of healing itself. Think of your body not as a machine destined to rust, but as a dormant garden. For years, the weeds of inflammation have been allowed to grow wild, choking out the life beneath. These 5 foods are not a prescription. They are the tools of a master gardener, your tools. With them, you can now begin to pull the weeds, nourish the soil, and allow your own vitality to blossom once more. This knowledge changes who you are. You are not a passive patient, waiting for the next bad news from a doctor's visit. You are the architect of your own health. You are the commander of your own biology, equipped with the science and the strategy to make conscious choices that build a more resilient and vibrant future for yourself, starting with your very next meal. And while these foods lay the foundation for extinguishing the fire, the next crucial step is to stop pouring fuel on it. In my next video, we will expose the 3 supposedly healthy habits that are secretly promoting inflammation behind the scenes. What I discovered may shock you. Which of these 5 habits are you going to try first? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one. Roteiro compilado. Pronto para o Step 4. Auditor e limpador.